In the cold desert skies of 1991, during Operation Desert Storm, the Iraqi Air Force faced an opponent unlike any they had ever encountered, the American F-15 Eagle. Built for dominance, precision, and power, the F-15 had already earned a fearsome reputation long before the Gulf War began. But for the Iraqi pilots who took to the skies over Baghdad and Basra, the Eagle represented something more than just a machine. It was the shadow of technological supremacy. As US and coalition forces launched massive airstrikes, Iraqi pilots in MiG-29s, Mirage F-1s, and MiG-23 scrambled to intercept. Many never saw their enemy until it was too late. The F-15's powerful AN/APG-63 radar and AIM-7 Sparrow missiles allowed American pilots to detect, lock, and fire at targets from miles away, long before the Iraqi pilots even realized they were being tracked. Interviews after the war revealed a mix of awe and despair among Iraqi aviators. Some described the Eagle as a ghost in the sky, capable of striking from nowhere. Others recalled the deafening silence in their radio channels as fellow pilots vanished from radar screens within seconds. The F-15's unmatched kill ratio, more than 30 aerial victories during Desert Storm without a single air-to-air loss, cemented its legend. Iraqi pilots, many of whom were experienced veterans from the Iran-Iraq War, quickly realized that courage and skill could not overcome the Eagle's electronic eyes and American pilot training. One former Iraqi MiG-29 pilot admitted that once they knew the F-15 was in the air, most missions became survival rather than combat. They would fly low, using terrain and ground clutter to hide from radar, but the Eagle's AWACS coordination made even that futile. American pilots described the engagements as surgical, quick locks, missile away, and then silence. Yet despite the hopeless odds, there were moments of bravery. Some Iraqi pilots attempted head-on intercepts, knowing they would likely not return. Their aircraft, often poorly maintained under sanctions, were no match for the well-supported US fleet. The Iraqi Air Force eventually resorted to hiding their jets in hardened shelters or fleeing to Iran. But even decades later, some Iraqi pilots have expressed a strange respect for the F-15. They called it the King of the Sky, an aircraft that symbolized not just American might, but the changing era of warfare, where technology ruled over courage. For them, Desert Storm was not just a military defeat, but a realization that air combat had entered a new age of long-range sensors, stealth, and electronic warfare. The F-15 Eagle wasn't merely faster or better armed, it was smarter, connected, and operated by pilots trained to think in terms of systems rather than dogfights. Iraqi veterans later admitted that no amount of bravery could compensate for that level of integration. As the dust settled and the world watched America's air power rewrite military doctrine, one thing became clear: the F-15 had proven that the skies belonged to those who saw first, thought faster, and struck hardest. Today, the echoes of those battles still resonate through history, reminders of the moment Iraqi pilots looked up at the sun-blinding sky and understood they were fighting the future. The F-15 Eagle became a legend that day, and not just because of its kills, but because of the fear and respect it inspired even in its enemies. In the words of one Iraqi pilot, when you faced the Eagle, you were not fighting a jet, you were fighting a system, a nation, and an idea of air supremacy itself. Stay tuned for more deep dives into untold stories of air warfare and military history.